20-25 authors in one article. Okay, but of course they should have um, the equal contribution in that work. Here is one example given. How to write the authors and their affiliation. So here is the author Eliza Green, J.P. Grantoka, Archibald Spotworth. The corresponding author's name is given, and you will see that there is something written in the superscript A, B, and there is something in the asterisk mark. So it could be the journal. Now, what to write in the superscript? Read the journal guidelines to whichever journal you are going to publish. Okay. These superscript indicate something. Now that asterisk superscript, or sometimes it is underline also, that is for corresponding author. So the corresponding author's details are given to be here, means email ID and the contact details. The other superscript indicate the organization with which they belong to. Okay, so here again, while writing your affiliations, no salutation or educational qualification. Do not write, I'll not write Dr. Meenakshi Guru. No, I'll write Meenakshi Guru. I'll write the name of the institute, but I'll not write the educational qualification, or I'll not write the my position, scientist or research scholar or assistant professor. No designation. Only the name of the institution, unless it is asked. Sometimes the journal asks for the then only you write, otherwise don't write the qualification also, and comma separator as per the journal norms. So be specific to the journal norms again here. So here you'll see that the name of the universities are only written. It's not written in what position they are holding. So that is not supposed to be written unless asked. Then comes the abstract, which is the summary of your research article. It is the extract, it is a summary. It is independent and standalone. Abstract itself many times sufficient to know what your research is about, and for further details, the researcher has to read further. Okay, unstructured many times, standalone means unstructured, but if needed, many journals ask to write in a structured way. Structured and unstructured, I tell you what is it. So structured, it means there are titles, subtitles in the abstract. Generally, social science journals do not ask for structured abstract. In that case, your abstract should be single paragraph only, no paragraphs also. Okay. This abstract is useful to decide of an article and choose appropriate reviewer or appropriate reviewer. Like you had sent I'm going to be the publisher or editor of certain journal, and you are sending me abstract. So from your, I'll just read the abstract and accordingly, or you send me a paper, but I'm not a reviewer. I'm just an editor. What I'll do, I will read your abstract, which will tell me to whom this paper has to be sent. I give you a small example now. In Avishkar, what we do, we read your paper, we read the abstract, and from that we decide the experts in your field, and to those experts we send your articles for further assessment. It is a real trailer. Okay, abstract, absolutely straightforward, actual data presentation and interpretation. That is the abstract. And the types, as I said, there are structured and unstructured abstracts, or there are descriptive and informative abstract. There are two four types I can say, two criteria like structured and unstructured, as I said earlier, and descriptive and informative abstract is the other type of categorization, where the descriptive abstracts are short 75 to 150 words long, which portray what the paper contains without providing any more details. The reader has to read the full length paper to know what the content is, and are rarely used in original research paper. Okay, for case reports, reviews, opinions, these descriptive abstracts are used. And there are informative abstracts also. These informative abstracts may be again structured or unstructured, which give complete detail, complete summary of the article contents and truly reflects the actual report. Okay, so generally for social sciences, structured informative abstracts are required. So what here you will again, your checklist will be simple language and phrases. So rather sentences, use the simple sentences. It has to be informative, cohesive, adhering to the structure, subheading, just say whatever the is required by journal. If the headings are required, so you do not change those headings. And if it is unstructured, again I'll be emphasizing more on unstructured. That is what expected, which is standalone, a complete independent standalone single paragraph information, which is unbiased but still concise, honest, interesting, balanced, very much precise. Okay, should not be misleading, consistent with the main paper text, full word capacity. And now how many words? Again, look for the guidelines. How much it is expected? What is the limit given? 250, 200, 150 is actually the limit. So utilize that full word capacity. Use keywords in key message in your abstract. What overall you want to say, emphasize, you want to emphasize on, it has to come very clearly in the in your abstract. And non-standard abbreviations do not use, and avoid, if possible, avoid passive voice. I will be speaking about the passive voice, active voice later, but yeah, here instead of voice, you just remember first part itself. Non-standard abbreviations should be avoided. Then keywords, which is very, very important. Okay, your title, authors, affiliation, abstract, and then keywords, which are representing the content of your manuscript. You should be very specific to the fields and subfields of your paper, which help you in shortlisting the keywords. This keyword, it is said, but it need not be a single word. It could be a phrase comprising of 2 to 3 words, 4 to 4 words. Okay, so there could be phrases also. Avoid the terms which are already used in the paper type. Very common mistake. Very common mistake in the sense, if you do in that way, whether your paper will not be accepted, it will be accepted. But again, for citation, it reduces the chances of visibility of your paper. Your paper should be seen by others now, so it decreases the chance of visibility by the others. So you use the keywords which are not in the title. Yeah, you can use the similar words or phrases for the important work that you have carried out. That similar phrases you can use, but do not make it too much lengthy. Officially recognized written form of each keyword, key term. Whatever key term you are using, Again, it should not be of your own customized keyword. It should be officially used term. Alternate terms you can use. Test your keywords before you're submitting. I mean to say that check whether it is exactly directing to what you mean. Okay. So for that, you have to check the meaning of that keywords. Sometimes we know the general meaning, but look for exact definition what it meant for. And just see whether you exactly mean that or you mean something else. There are a keyword generator online available. You use them, but use with caution. So once the keywords are generated by the online tools, okay, everything can be generated online now except mothers and father. That also can be like originally milenge, you will get the duplicate ones, but use them with caution. So before you submit, use the key, try to find out its what I can say, exact meaning. Then comes the introduction part. Actually, it takes lots of efforts to write introduction than your main article. It's very easy to write research methodology and results and discussion and so on and so forth. But it is very, very difficult to write the introduction. And though it is the, so I suggest that though, and of course it is suggested by many researchers, that though it is initial part of your research article or dissertation or thesis, write it at the end, because when you finish all the write-up, by that now you have no exact idea about what you want to focus more on. Okay. Now, what this introduction explains you, it explains the scope, the topic you are covering. It explains the context, the background of your topic that you have to explain. Importance, why your research matters in the context of the given situation. Okay. So your introduction should explain all those things. As I said, it is the first section, but preferably right at the last. Why introduction is because without a clear introduction, your readers will struggle. They may feel confused when they start reading your paper. If there is no introduction, they may feel confused. So you're giving scope, context of your research in the beginning itself. So their ideas about your research get clear. They might even give up entirely. They do not understand what your research is about. So this introduction grounds the theme and prepares the reader for in-depth research to come. Okay. Your introduction should include, now I have told you, it has to have a scope, context and all. But then when you are arranging them, how will you arrange? So better, let me see. Give the overview of the topic, what your topic is about. Sometimes you might need to define the topic. Okay, you might need to define the situation. Then you have to tell about the prior research. It is very foolish to say that no one has conducted such kind of research. No, it doesn't happen. There is always something or other in the related fields happening, based on which only you have to build up your research. So what is the previous research done and what is exactly not done, which you are picking up, that is the gap analysis. Okay. Rational. So that work is not done, but how important it is to be done, that comes in the rational. and hypothesis. So your flow should go in this way itself. Okay, hypothesis is not often a criteria. It's not often necessary to be included. And it is not often statistically tested. Each one of this is again a separate point of separate topic of a talk. So I just go ahead. So here what you will do, you will define, explain the concepts. As I said, you might need to define, give the meaning of what you are doing. You can start with quotation mark, writing the name of the person who have quoted it. Every research article need not start with quotation, but to make it catchy, you can start it since it is social science. For our science candidates, we have no scope to start with quotation, and communicate with the structure, whatever, here I mean to say that readers need to know not only why you are conducting a particular research topic, but also how you intend to do it. It's not research methodology, but how you intended to do this. It means that your introduction should set out the structure that will be followed in your research article. Okay. Yes. Now, aim, objective, hypothesis. You need to write these things for your dissertation, thesis, reports, etc. Here, some hints like use of verbs. When you write aim and objective, what is the aim objective that I'm speaking for further? Rather my sequence, yeah, in the next slide it is. But here, try to use this strong verbs: collect, construct, classify, develop, devise, measure, produce, revise, select, synthesis. Some weak verbs are appreciate, study, consider, inquire, learn, know, understand, beware of, appreciate, listen, perceive, etc., etc. But let us understand what the aim is. So aim is the statement of intent, what you hope to achieve, which are the broad terms, which are usually written in broad terms. They set out what you hope to achieve at the end of the project. And objectives are the milestones, the actions you need to take in order to achieve your aim. These are actually the specific statements that define measurable outcome. Okay, so here is the example, huh? And I have taken it, yes, from yeah, just I was looking what it meant, says. So why, what, and how, that comes in your aim. Why is this research necessary? What is the purpose of the study? How will you accomplish it? Okay, I think I have here a Google form. I just go back. Yes. Before Google back, I have some more information onto it. So I just go here. Huh? Yeah. Now, this is the aim given to assess the effects of Virgin Atlantic organizational culture on business profitability. I don't give you exercise now. Thoda sequence galat ho gaya, so let me quickly go through. Yeah. So I have here research title, and I have research aim also. Okay, here I have shown you the research title and research aim. The title is Effect of Urbanization, Organizational Culture on Business Profitability, a case study of Virgin Atlantic. And you have to frame a aim. So what I have framed, to assess the effect of Virgin Atlantic organizational culture on business profitability. Okay, let's go further. The aim has to be SMART. Okay, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time constraint. Specific, be precise about what we are going to do. Measurable, you will know when you have to reach the goal. Achievable, don't attempt too much, or don't be yeah, more like I mean to say more ambitious. Okay, the goal has to be achievable. Many times it happens that our aim or goal, which is a broad statement, it's very broad, but it is not achievable. So it has to be achievable, realistic. Do you have the necessary resources to achieve it, like money, time, skill, and the time constraint? Okay, where you have to be sure that you are completing it without delay. Okay, how many aims can be there? One or two. Objectives, any number, but achievable in time frame. And so do not claim too much. For aim, I said, do not be much ambitious. Okay, don't have very broad aim. Okay, it has to be achievable, whereas objectives also should be set in such a way that are achievable in the time frame. This is just a slide to give you some of the hints, the words which you can use, because we generally use the term understanding, to understand, to apply, to analyze, but then these are some of the additional terms which I had taken from some reference which I have quoted over here. Next section comes in the methodology.
Madam,
Okay.
just could you go to the previous slide? 1 minute.
This one?
Yeah.
Huh. Anyways, I think you are recording, so you can take it later also. Its recording is on?
Yes, ma'am. It's on.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Research methodology. Now, research methods. There are specific procedures for collecting and analyzing the data. Developing your research method is an integral part of your research design. Okay, and methods or methodology. So methods are the procedures which you are following, which are integral part of it, and a sets of such research methods makes research methodology. Okay, this is again I felt that it's important to tell you about what is the research methods and methodologies. So it is not a single method, it is sets of methods which you are using. So it's a methodology. Okay, methods include how you are going to collect the data, which could be qualitative, quantitative, secondary, primary, descriptive method, experimental methods, and also how you are going to analyze the data, which statistical or thematical procedures you are going to apply it. And the sets of everything makes the methodology. So in this research methodology, the key points will be like what you did, how you collected data, how you analyzed data. Okay, which tools you used. Okay. Your rationale for choosing this method. Why did you choose this method? And what challenges or limitations you have. Here, while saying so, I have used ED, I have emphasized on ED because this is research methodology which you already did. And so it has to come in a past tense. Why it is important? Yeah, of course, others should know how you have collected data. Okay. The most important thing that to ensure the reproducibility, because some research is done in a particular area by particular method. If someone else goes there and does the work by applying the same method, the same result should be there, then only we can say that yes, whatever the information was given is correct. Okay, so it ensures the validity also. Reproducibility, validity are the important characteristics of a good research. And also it helps to plan your work strategically. While designing your research methodology, focus on your objective. So suitable method has to be reflected while framing the questions, while framing the design. Okay. Relevant resources has to be cited because many a times you take some ready-made questionnaire, or you take the primary, you take the secondary data, you use the reports which were published earlier. So those relevant sources must be cited. You remember that you are writing for your audience, so they must understand what you write, and the obstacle must be discussed, or they must be mentioned over there, which indicates the limitation of data collection. So in other contexts or some other time, if the results are different, the person should know what were the obstacles previously, or if the research has to be conducted ahead, since it is very, very important, the earlier phase challenges should be known so that the next researcher will try to overcome those challenges. Next section is the results. While writing the results from new researchers, I see always that they start directly with their tables and figures. No, start your results by stating the purpose of your research first. There has to be some landing paragraph. Okay. And then use suitable tables, figures, graphs, but not at a time. Whatever suits there, that you apply. Include details about your data analysis and interpretation, as well as statistical significance test when you are using statistical tools. The details of those, at what level of significance. Okay, that matters many times when you are doing statistical analysis. So all those details have to come. Report even insignificant research findings also. Some research findings are very insignificant, but note them, report them, that they were insignificant, which helps the reader to connect what is significant, what is insignificant. Insignificant also should not be noticed, otherwise it is taken granted. Okay, past tense, results, you had those results already, so past tense. No vague terms. Your very correct term has to be used. Approximately. What is approximately? No approximately in the research. Correct values are there. So no vague terms, no approximate. Conclude your section with a short paragraph that summarizes the key findings again. Okay, here there are no discussions. Of course, sometimes results and discussions are written together. So that time your findings immediately you can discuss. If it is not asked to be together, or if it is asked specifically to be separate, then no discussions here. So generally, if in that case, there is no what I can say, citations or references given in this section. So very much relieved as you have not to give any citations in this results. It's all your own thing. Okay. While writing your results, the placement of your figures, tables, chart is important. Place them next to the text explanation you have written, unless you are asked to provide it separately. Sometimes the journal, they say that give these figures and tables in a separate format. So then you are to give it separately. Otherwise, place them near the explanation itself. Number them and cite them in the explanation. So if you are explaining that table, so wherever the explanation of that table is given, there the number has to be reflected. Even the figure also, that number of the figure FIG 2.2, whatever the number is, that has to come. Suitable captions and legends are very, very essential. Now, when you are giving titles to the table, actually, again, there are different styles. And I am referring to the three important styles over here. Chicago Manual style, referred as the Chicago style. Publication Manual of American Psychology Association, APS style. And MLA, that is Modern Language Association styles. So these three styles, and even these three styles are there for referencing. Many more styles are there for referencing. You can keep the screenshot for your further reference. Instead, I repeat this. So here is the table stating about how it has to be written about in a particular style. So if it's an alignment of the table, this is about the table now. So table, then the title of the table has to be left above. So as you see here, table 1, it is left above. Okay. In all the three styles, the table title starts from the left. It is not central. Okay. Capitalization, sentence case, headline style, and headline style. Okay. Sentence case style means only first letter capital. Headline style means every letter capitalized except the conjunctives like of, and, below, under. These words are never capitalized. Labeling and numbering. So see, labeling, capitalized table with number. Now here, the table, you can see that capitalized table with number, that is italicized also. T capital, italicized with number. Okay. Period after. So has there be a period after number? After you write that number 1, space dena hai ya nahi dena hai? Check it. Title placement in line with label and number line below. So see here now, I may have the examples. Yeah, Chicago style. Okay, so table 4.9 and the title has to come in the line below. In the actually sentence case bhi diya hai, and the other case is also each word capital. Headline style bhi diya hai. Okay, this is APS style. The whole information is given over here. Left place, italicized, headline. Okay. the note, etc., etc. So you have to confirm with the guidelines, whichever guidelines we are using. Okay, here also it is not italicized, but headline capitalized. Okay, left place. So you, in the three styles that we have discussed, the table was at the left. Yes. So in this results, communication and readability must be the ultimate criteria. Okay. Avoid temptation to use the special effects available in most advanced software packages. No, it has to be communication matters. Don't make it much fancy. Three-dimensional effects and all those things are there now. So avoid all those temptation. Avoid overuse of shading, layered, line drawing are usually good option. Clear idea you get about the figures. This is mostly about the figures. Okay. For photographs, high contrast between background and focal point is important. Clear images, I mean to say. Okay. And the other unimportant details you should crop out. This is how the figure is placed. Okay. Example of figure and caption. So all the captions of the figure generally come at the bottom. Okay, how it is. So again, see this type. Figure, number, space, dot, italicized title of the figure. Okay. The source, if you have taken that figure from somewhere else, the source and the dimension. Here is another style in APA format. This is a graph, figure 1. The title comes in the line below, which is italicized in the headlines case, and the note is given at the bottom. So in the APA style, the figure title, figure legend has to be given at the top itself. Then this legend placement is also important. So look for all the aspects. Just I am trying to make you aware that there are different styles and you have to adhere to those. Don't use anything what you wish. Check for those styles or choose any one and be consistent. If not mentioned, you can select any one and be consistent throughout. Okay, this is of MLA style. So MLA again, it is at the bottom, but here figure number 1 is the center and the information about it, the legend is given at the bottom. Okay, so different styles are there. Here, while writing results, avoid discussing an interpretation of its only result, no interpretation, no conclusion. So avoid those. Okay. Reporting background information and attempting to explain the finding. Don't explain the findings. This and this, that is I have found. Okay. Relation is up to the strength of so and so. Regression is this. Yeah. What is Pearson correlation is 0.02 at the level of significance alpha so and so. That's it. Ignoring negative results, avoid ignoring negative results, otherwise it is biased. Negative results which are not in your favor, they also you mention later on. You have discussion for those negative results also, because there must be some reasons to have you the negative results. Avoid including raw data. Don't put only processed data. Okay. Be as factual and concise. Give here the facts. Factual data has to be given. Don't present the same data again and again. Avoid repetition. And don't confuse figures with tables. Don't use both the things. If not, avoid using both the things, that is table and figure, if it is not that important. Then comes the length. Discussion. Then comes the discussion, where the important approaches are the length, paragraphs, refit findings, avoiding irrelevant references, citation, and avoiding citing review articles. Now, the length of this discussion section should not exceed the sum of other sections, including introduction, material, methods and results. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि एक पैराग्राफ में डिस्कशन दे दो. Okay, but it shouldn't be more than the earlier three. What means introduction, material, methods and results से ज्यादा ना हो. Okay, should be completed within 6 to 7 paragraphs. Each paragraph around some 200 words. So your discussion should get over by around some 1,000 words for research article. Okay. So you can divide your discussion session section into 3 paragraphs, like introductory paragraph, interparametry paragraph, and the concluding paragraph. The paragraph, introductory paragraph will start with some unbeatable statement and proceed with the part of addressing the questions like on what issue we have to concentrate, discuss or elaborate, what solution can be recommended to solve the problem. So like that introductory paragraph, you can write what will be the new and different innovative issues or approaches, and how will your study contribute to the solution. Like that you can create some introductory paragraph where there will be no discussion, no references given. Okay. Then in the intermediate paragraph, middle paragraph, you are going to discuss all your findings. I think someone is speaking. Shall I wait? Shall I continue?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Someone
Madam,
was speaking, so I thought, yes, sir.
5 o'clock we can give break.
Yeah.
5 to 10.
Yes, sure. Okay, 2 minutes. No, I'll finish this slide and we'll break.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in the intermediate paragraph, whatever notable findings you are going to refute them with the others' research work. Okay, and then your last paragraph. So in the last paragraph, you are discussing the strong points of your findings, again refuting them with the relevant references. Okay, so like that you can arrange it. As I said, as it is mentioned here, refute your findings, give the relevant citation, avoid the relevant citation, etc., etc. So I think I take a break over here, and then we shall continue. So, sir, how long the break is?
5:30, madam. 5 to 5:30.
5 to 5:30, half an hour break.
Half an hour break. And we can join on the same link, madam. If you want to be there on the present, you can, or otherwise you can log out and rejoin again. And all the participants also requested to join on the same link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't. I think we had already this. Okay, fine. So we were on the point discussion. This already we had discussed, and now we come to the next part, that is conclusion. So it is the last and important part of your research writing. Okay, so in this you have to stress on the importance of your thesis statement or your title, I'll say, and also you have to see that how each of your objective is reflected through your results that you will be concluding. Okay, so your conclusions should be in a line with your objectives. Very, very important. Your objectives should be reflected in your conclusion. I'm saying it different way, but yeah, just to make it very clear, I feel it is necessary that conclusion should reflect your objectives. Hmm? Uh, these conclusions will give the completeness to your research, and it is the one which is going to give the final impression on the reader. So as I said, it must be aligned with your objectives. Write about your own opinion. Now, whatever others' opinions are there that you have already written in the discussion, and from all of this, after studying it thoroughly, what you feel, what is your opinion, that you are going to give here. Also, you comment what is the future scope of your work. You conclude what your results are and how they are going to be important further. Do not repeat the results and finding. Okay, it's not your discussion, it is not your result, but conclusion remark on your results. Okay, no reference here needed. If there are any limits, accept it here too. Rather, many a times the limitations are also given. It is not structured paragraph, it is a single paragraph written in the form of conclusion, and all your arguments will be logical. Ineffective agar conclusion hai, if your conclusion is ineffective, it is generic, it contains no yeah, contains new information. Now here there shouldn't be anything new coming directly in the conclusion. It should be all what you have already said, but it has to be in a summarized way. So you do not add any new information in the conclusions. Okay. Do not apologize in this. Instead of addressing the weakness, you agree the weakness of your research, but do not apologize, no discussion, and no emotions. Be analytical at the time of conclusion. Okay, so I did not get the authors did not get the scope to reach there, and so the results are no. It's a limitation that you couldn't include so and so population. That was the limitation. Accept it. That is the weakness of your project. Okay, and don't try to take the advantage of something like nowadays everyone is taking the advantage of COVID situation. So no that way. Then comes the acknowledgement section. Whom to acknowledge? Acknowledge to the authors, the writers. Of course, if their name is already there in the authors list, you need not repeat it. Of course, you can acknowledge the colleagues, but it is not very lengthy paragraph. So simply you can write colleagues, department staff, college non-teaching staff, and so on and so forth. Or any person who had helped you in your work. Like when I was doing PhD, one of the rickshawalas, he always used to accompany me to collect the samples. So I couldn't stop myself from acknowledging him. Also acknowledge the funding agency, donor, whoever it is. It could be your own college or some funding agency who have funded you for completion of the project. You can acknowledge the professor, because there is a guide to whom you are already acknowledged to giving the credit in the authorship. But there are other professors also who indulge in the brainstorm with you. So of course their critics is always important, supervisor, administrative personnel, reviewer. So you can acknowledge them, but not necessarily that every time you acknowledge everyone. So in this acknowledgement, it is a single paragraph written in an active voice. See, in the whole research work, I think this is only the paragraph which is written in the active voice. Generally, passive voice is preferred. Okay, as we say, do not take always credit to the self. Aham, no aham. Okay, so that is active voice. No? So your paper should be addressed in a passive voice preferably, though there is no strong I say the recommendation to write in a passive voice. But yes, unwritten rule, but say passively. But this acknowledgement is written in a active voice, preferably say authors are thankful or author is thankful, grateful, etc. Here also, instead of say I am thankful, we are thankful, say authors are thankful. That is again one way of giving your thanks in a polite way, in a very formal language. Courtesy titles are seldom used. Again, those salutations are seldom used. I think only in India we use those courtesy titles. And name of companies, agencies, they should be written in full because we are giving them credit. And they also need to use these acknowledgements for their getting credits for themselves from somebody else. So bibliography, why and when, what are the different styles and tools that we'll discuss in bibliography. So why bibliography? It helps you to avoid plagiarism by making it clear that which ideas we are taken from where. Otherwise, if you are not giving credit to the authors for the ideas they are generated by them, then we say it is a plagiarized. So it is important that you are giving credits to the authors. Okay. Then show your understanding of the topic. Just a minute. No, I see. So when you have listed the bibliography, which references are cited, from which year they were and from which areas they were. So when reviewers look at that, you reviewers understand that how in depth you have gone, how back you have gone, how recently you have seen. So that way. This bibliography supports the evidences of your arguments, ideas, opinions, etc., etc. Allow others to identify the sources you have used, and whenever you use an idea of someone else's work, the citation is required. So what are the rules here? Rule 1, include a relevant citation. Okay. Of course, it is important. Rule 2, read the publications you cite. Do not cite without reading irrelevant work, otherwise will get cited transparently, not neutrally. Okay. Not neutrally, transparently, I mean to say. Whatever you have taken, you give the credit to them. But here, bibliography, you are giving your own opinions. So, has to be transparent. Cite yourself when required. Yes, self-citation is also accepted, but when required, you use self-citation also, because it might be your own published work previously, from which you need to quote something or use some of the previous findings, so you can quote yourself. Prioritize the citation you include. Okay, so prioritize citation. You decide how it is important. Okay, new or what I can say, newer one or most relevant one, that way. Evaluate citation in the rhetorical context. Okay, how important they are, and accept the citation cultures which are like they differ from across their boundaries. So according to their different styles, I mean to say. So these are different style which we have already discussed, not as a reference style, but in other way we have discussed APA, MLA, IEEE, Vancouver, and many more are there. Now, creating this bibliography is a very tedious task. And so there are citation manager. Nowadays, all the articles that appear online, for them, there is option cite written. And if you click on the cite option, you can get the different ways of citation. You can just click copy from there and paste. But then it happens that sometime later, if you have to change the style, like I had sent paper to one journal, and that journal rejected my article. Now I have to submit it to the other journal, but the other journal asked the bibliography written in some other way. Okay, so then how I can go again? I had to sit, I had to do rearrange and all. No, here, if you use the citation manager tools, okay, it is easy that just you do some edits in the setting, and whole your citation is automatically changed. These are some of the citation managers like Mendeley, EndNote, Zotero. You can learn them by watching YouTube video and just practicing them. So, but yeah, you learn. It is important. I remember those days when this EndNote and Mendeley was recently started. When I was doing my writing my thesis, and I had more than 400 what I can say, references in the reference list in the whole thesis. It was very difficult task for me to manage without them. I managed at that time, but later on I learned Zotero out of it. This I don't speak because I have a lot much to speak and my time is a little less. But what is a paper, what is a report, what is book, just I have mentioned. You can keep it as a screenshot and we'll go ahead. Paper is research paper we had discussed so far, where I had given you all the components, and these research papers are published in a peer-reviewed journals. Journals are the what I can say, periodicals which publish the research data or research writings. Okay, but book is generally written in academic sense, where there are too many pages of a particular subject, or could be of different subjects also. It could be collection of different articles also. Yeah, so I just end over here this presentation. I'll switch over to the other session. These are some of the references that I had used, and thanks for this session. But of course, now I am going to the other presentation quickly. I don't know whether I can change it directly. Yeah, I stop the presentation and I reshare. Yeah, so let me speak about the grammar considerations. Verbs and tenses. Okay, and now you can see how I have written my name. Okay, why I have included both the names of college and university? Of course, because it's my credentials, but of course my college and my university may take the credit whenever they need to project the credit, the work done by their staff. So that's why I have mentioned my college name. And also I have mentioned my email ID and my contact details. I go ahead. Now verb tenses, or what tense I should write my research paper. Preferably simple present, simple past, and present perfect. My whole research paper, thesis, dissertation, report, whatever it is, it comprises of, it is a blend of these three tenses: present, simple past, present perfect. Simple, you do not use past continuous, present continuous. present perfect. No, don't make it much complicated. Use these three simple sentences like simple present, simple past, present perfect. Okay, to write your write-up. Abstract, which tense you will use, which is written in a simple past tense. Okay, to write the general outline, you will use the simple past tense. For introductory sentences in your abstract, you will use present perfect. Okay, simple past tense we use, which are the things which are in existence in general. Okay, some introductory sentences can be written in a present perfect. Okay, not necessarily. And to establish the need of the study, you can use the simple present, simple past, simple present, and present perfect. Okay, so this is the abstract. I have just colored some of the statements of this. The whole world is working tirelessly. This is present continuous, is working tirelessly, because the situation was like that only. It was about the pandemic pandemic situation. The second sentence I raised, the pandemic has taken, present perfect. Okay, Mumbai is one of the most infected cities. Okay, it is simple present. Okay, the total area of Mumbai is simple present. Okay, study was carried out, simple past. I'm concluding it. My study is already done, simple past. Random survey method was applied, it is done. So it comes a blend of all this, but use passive voice. The study was conducted. I did not say that I conducted the study. Okay, it is written the study was conducted. So use passive voice preferably. Okay. Introduction. Present tense is applied when discussing something that is always true. Present tense, which is always true. Simple past, which is used for earlier research efforts, because in the introduction you are giving literature review also, no? So and so have studied, or studied, have studied also not necessary. You can say studied. Okay, so simple past. Have studied aega to past perfect ho gaya na? So you can write simple past. And simple past or present for concluding statements of the introduction. Okay, so in the introduction, generally past and present. Now see the introduction. Pandemic 19 is an emergency situation where the whole globe is at the stake. COVID-19 is an infection, so this is simple present. Another paragraph. Complete lockdown of 77 days was observed. The report of Economic Times says that. So this is, it says, SNEK it had, I would have written said also, but this is true now also. So says I have written, but was observed. And Chinese cities by nearly 3 days, and the overall efforts had cut the number of confirmed cases. So this is the simple past. Simple past also or past perfect also. The present study have focused. Okay, I would have written focused also. So here the author is writing either past perfect or could have been written in a simple past. Focus bhi chalta tha na, have focused, but it could have been focused. Present perfect. No, present perfect. Yeah. Have focused. It is a present perfect. Correct. Then the literature review. So in literature review, use simple past tense, because literature review, it is all about what has already been done. So past tense or past perfect, in which you will be using the verbs like discovered, investigated, compared, studied, analyzed, investigate. I think that is repeated, found, confirmed, performed, because this is all what research has been done. Methodology. Write in simple past tense. The data for the current study was obtained from primary and secondary sources. Survey of 127 civilians belonging the middle income group to lower middle income group of Mumbai city was done. Sample was selected randomly, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it is written in the simple past tense. You will see the verbs over here. Results in simple past tense. Okay, actual results, simple past tense, and simple present for figures and titles, because there you are comparing your figures and tables. So that you describe in simple present. And for your actual results, you say use simple past. So result obtained from the study showed that 97.50% civilians are so and so. Figure 1 shows that. Figure 1 abhi dikha raha hai na aapko. It is not in the past. So figure 1 shows that. So simple past tense for actual results, and for figure and tables use simple present. Discussion. Simple past to summarize your own findings, and present tense to interpret and discuss the significance of your finding. Okay, in discussion, you are summarizing your own findings, you are refuting them with the proper research one done earlier. So there also simple past will come. And along it, you are also giving your own opinions, where you will be using present tense. Okay, so here is one paragraph. By looking into the data of death rate, comorbidity, it is apparent that all those who died were already suffering from comorbidities. So you are giving your own opinion. Okay, the most important thing is that the death rate of patient who have no pre-existing condition is 0%. It is indicative of the fact that being healthy is the key to COVID. Okay, so note these things. Conclusion, present perfect. Now you are giving conclusion, which is to be given in present perfect or present tense, to clarify that your statement still holds true. You can give in a present perfect or present tense. Present tense, when you use, it says that it still holds true. Okay. Even present tense or future tense can be used to apply findings, state implications, and suggest further research. So here again, you can say that the same research work I have shown. Deaths are in Mumbai. Citizens from group A should be temporarily migrated. Okay, so it is a perfect future, and citizens of B should be migrated. So accordingly, the suggestions are given. So my different tenses are here. And thank you, thankful. I have been thankful. I was and I will be thankful, and I should be thankful, and thank you for this verb kind of thing. I just go to the next presentation now. My third presentation is about, just a minute, publication process. Okay. Yeah. So now you have written the research article and you want to publish it. When it is a report, of course, there are the people sitting to accept your reports. When it comes to dissertation and thesis, it is requirement, and you are not to hunt for someone who will accept your thesis or dissertation. They're already waiting for you to submit it. But when it is a research article, yes, you have to look for suitable journal to publish your data. Okay, what is the process? So here you have to just wait a minute. I myself am not able to read what is written. So you have to prepare your original research work. Okay, first create your original research work. Then I just take a pen from here. Laser. Okay, then prepare a manuscript. So first do a research, collect data, and then prepare your manuscript. Now for preparing your manuscript, first you identify a suitable journal with aims and scope that your research work matches to, and then format your manuscript according to the guidelines given by the particular journal. Of course, the body will be as we discussed earlier, but there are certain requirements many a times by the journal which you can look for, you should look for. Okay, then you prepare the manuscript, you submit the manuscript. Nowadays, online submissions of the manuscripts are there. Many journals ask you to submit the manuscript online. So you have to get acquainted with the interface of submitting the manuscript online. Also, many publisher ask to email you. They want you to email the manuscript. So you have to find out which email ID you are supposed to send. So you have to visit the website, and accordingly, by finding out the email ID, you have to send the manuscript. Then the peer review process starts. So once the journal receive the article, okay, the editor-in-chief sends this articles to the suitable reviewers, the peers, the expertise in the field for which you have submitted your research article. And then this peer, these expert, they review your article. They find whether your article, they try to review whether your article is in the scope of the journal or not. If the methods you have mentioned are valid methods or not, whether your research methodology is valid or not, and accordingly give their comment. Sometimes they ask you to revise the article. So they give their decision, whether they say that the article is accepted by minor revision, by major revisions, or if they find that it is not at all good research, they reject or if they feel that the article is not in the scope of the journal, they reject the article. So they give their comment. If the article is rejected, again you have to go back and you have to prepare the manuscript. Now your manuscript is written, only the thing that you have to find the other journal. Okay. Or if the remark is like that, the further work is needed, detailed work is needed, so you have to rework onto it. And if it is accepted, then it goes for the publication. Then it is published in a journal, and you get the notification that your article is published. So this is a picture which I have taken in one of the journals website. But then this is a general process also. what to look in a journal. Now, when you are finding your journal, okay, I know now also many of you must be thinking here how to find a suitable journal. So what you should look for. Okay, how to get the names of those journals, I'll come in this presentation. But you, if any name you know, you read the aims and scope of the journal. Of course, many names you know while you're doing your um, literature review also. There also you get the names of various journals, and some of the names you can shortlist, and later on while publishing your article, you can look for those journals, journal website. You can see, look for the aims and the scope if they suit your article or not. Read and download the guidelines. I'll say download and read the guidelines, which is very, very important. Read how important, what are their requirements. Okay, so read them carefully. Check if the journal is invitation only, as some journals will accept article after inviting the authors. Some journals accept the articles throughout the year. Now, generally, they all accept throughout the year. Earlier, or now also, you may say some journals asking for call for research articles. They give call for research articles. So you see whether they are accepting only upon call or they accept sumo too throughout the year. Also look for whether it is open access or paid journal. Now, what is open access and paid journal? Okay, so open access journal is the journal which is available to read online for whoever comes across that article. Okay, so actually these open access journals take the charges from the author itself, because to keep this journal available online, they also have to pay some money to the service providers, isn't it? So they take those charges as a article processing charges from the authors itself, and they make it available for others to read. Okay, and paid journals, of course, there isn't anything good and bad in this, but there are different policies of the journal. There are some paid journals in the sense they take money from the readers to read the articles. So the audience or the reader have to pay the amount. Like now also, if you are research referencing, you might come across some of the articles which are paid. So for which you would like to go, and as a beginner, we all are the beginners. Okay, someone was talking, so I stopped. So as a beginner, you look for open access journal itself, because whatever data we have, it is necessary to disseminate it. Of course, follow all ethics in your research. It is very, very important. Let me mention you, few days back, one of the student, I don't know whether I should call you a research scholar or not. Not as one who is working under me, but yeah, of course, I was in touch with him, or I used to give him guidance when he was doing his work, or whenever he has to do his work. So he called me saying that, Madam, tomorrow there is one conference, and I want to send them abstract today. So I said, how you worked? Is your work ready? No, now I read some 2-3 articles and now I'm preparing my abstract based on it. I said, if you are asking me, so his question was, I'll read these articles and I'll write some abstract and I'll send whether they will accept my abstract or not. He said, I don't know whether they will accept or not, but I will never recommend to do this. Okay. It is never recommended that you read the article, 2-3 articles and make your own abstract and build up some research on it. So follow all the research ethics. Check the journal performance for review and publication timelines. Okay? Whether they are following the timelines, because now whenever you have to purchase something, buy something, you read the review. Na? Kaise iske review? Acha hai to you purchase. Similarly, you read the review of the journal also. Look for the acceptance rate. There are many good journals, but their acceptance rate is very, very low. Of course, having 100% acceptance rate is also not a good criteria. Okay, so don't ask me what is the good acceptance rate. I'll just say that avoid 100% acceptance and very low acceptance, because if you go for a journal having very low acceptance, then there are very less chances of getting your data accepted. Whereas 100% acceptance rate, wherever there is, then it shows that there is a weak review process. Okay, and the most important, submit your paper to only one journal at a time. I have made it under highlighted because unfortunately it had happened to me also, and I didn't do it purposely. Rather, I had submitted my research article to one of the conference and I did not attend the conference. So for me, it is not published. If I do not attend the conference, it should not be published. No? That is what ideally is. I had already written mail to that conference host that I'm not going to attend this conference, and so on. So, but still they published my article, which I wasn't knowing. I published it elsewhere. Later on, thinking that now I did not attend the conference, so my article is not supposed to be going there. And I submitted it for some other journal. And later on, sometime accidentally, I came across my same article which was published in the conference proceeding also. So unfortunately, it had happened. But yeah, submit your research article to one journal only. And for that, if you want to withdraw the article, read for the withdrawal policy of the journal. Okay, because of getting delay or something, if you want to withdraw your article from the journal, you look for the withdrawal policy and also write the mail saying that you are withdrawing. Prioritize. Peer-reviewed journal with good indexing and impact factor. What preferences you will give for? So, of course, not prioritize. I'll say that must go for peer-reviewed journal. Peer-reviewed, which process your article for review. They are called as the peer-reviewed journal with good indexing. So there are many indexing, what I can say, tools or indexing databases, which index the journal, which rank the journal. Okay. And that ranking comes as an impact factor. But that impact factor has to be given by well-known index database. Okay. Otherwise, there are impact factor 10, 8.5, international journals, so and so, and having very high impact factors. So I'm speaking about the plagiarism also, not much on the bibliometrics, but going for. If your research is in a specialized field, avoid the general multidisciplinary journals. Okay, try to focus on a specialized field. If you have groundbreaking results, then pay attention to journal with speedy review process. Speedy review doesn't mean that they will publish your article within 24 hours, within 48 hours more. Okay. So, because see, if your results are really groundbreaking, really important, it should be published quickly. There are many good journals, but their waiting period is longer, their review process is longer. By that time, your data becomes old and something might have published that work, or someone else may publish similar work in the meantime by the time your work get published. Okay, so you prioritize on different criterias like this, and as I said, prefer open access so that it is accessible to everyone. But for those open access journal, you may have to pay the charges. Now, I said there that index impact factor. So citation matrix is also matrix. Okay, matrix. So citation matrix is important to know the ranking of your journal, how good your journal is, which is actually the average number of citations received by articles in a journal within the 2 years of window, or there are some index databases which considers 5 years window also, but in general it is 2 years window. So how in an average every article is cited? More the rate of citation, good the journal is. Means it is it means that the journal is reaching to the large population and people believe on the review process, on the information published in that journal. Okay, so look for a good impact factor, but that journal impact factor has limitation. Okay, limitation in the sense who have indexed it. Okay, many search engines are that indexing organization, different organizations are there, and they use their own manipulation to show the high impact factor. Okay, or there are many who do not get all the correct information of the citation. And again, there is no any thumb rule or any one kind of citation that you should believe. There are predatory journals also. So what these predatory journals are? Actually, now these predatory journals are the one who take the advantage of the titles of the reputed journals. Okay, they use the title of the reputed journals and they mislead the readers. So we feel that it is the same journal which is very renowned and all. Actually, it is not. Okay. There are predatory publishers also. So the journals published by predatory publishers are the predatory journals itself. And of course, publishing your article in a good peer-reviewed journal is the ultimate goal. There are approximately 34,000 scholarly journals which fall into this category, and searching a suitable based journal is like finding a needle in a haystack. But yeah, there is a challenge, but you have to go through. Okay, Are there other types of journals also? So, yeah, just excuse me. Huh. So there are predatory journals, there are original journals. And why not to choose the predatory journals? Of course, the simple reason for not choosing the predatory journals is that your data may get lost anytime from there. You have opted for open access journal, you have paid them, and you want the data to be available on their website for longer period so that your work is noted by the others. These are predatory, so it may vanish at any time from there. Also, you want to take credit for the work, and you want the others to appreciate your work. But if others get to know that you have published in a predatory journal, then your name has a stigma of publishing the research in the fake journals. So all these things are there, and so you need to look for the good journal which is not predatory journal. Okay. Now, how to find out the predatory journal? Here I have written one website. Actually, red flags. Use red flags to spot predatory journals. You or predatory publishers. So you'll find those red flags. I will try to go on that link. I think I cannot go directly on the link. I have to escape the presentation. And I have to click this. I'll try putting it in the window. So I have kept this assessment open for you, but can you see my Chrome window? Can anybody tell me if you can see my Chrome window?
No, ma'am.
No, no?
No.
Okay. So I have to switch the mode. I'll try to switch the mode. Okay. So I don't know what is the other way, but then what I know that I'm doing, I have to share my entire my Google window this way. Okay. I think now you are able to see my Chrome window, no?
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, you have used the brackets, ma'am. Could you please remove the
Yes,
brackets?
yes, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Even I would have pasted this address over here.
Yes, ma'am. I think you should use that address.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
yes. Could not be found. Yeah. Actually, it was Yahoo. I go for a Yahoo engine. It was. I go for a Google. Just a minute, huh? No, it is not showing. Yes.
The bracket, ma'am. Again, the bracket.
No, bracket is called. No, there is no bracket now.
No, ma'am. It was actually there, ma'am. It was there.
It was there, but it is not there now. See, it's not there. Is it there at the end? I don't think that. No, it is not there at the end also. Okay. So the red flags actually I wanted to show, but no, this has taken me to the other page. Okay, no problem. So I'll be going back to the presentation here. Okay. There are no standard identifiers for predatory journal. Even predatory journal copy your ISSN, DOI, etc., etc. So there are no standard identifiers for the predatory journal. There is no transparency about article processing charges. Now, this is again one of the clue that if you are journal, you are looking for open access journal, of course, they will charge for processing charge. They will charge something as an article processing fees. Okay. But these predatory journals do not give clear information about the processing charges. First, they ask you about the article and they send you acceptance, and then they ask you to pay. Their websites also, if you look for, so those websites are also not proper. There are many typo errors, and the design is also very unofficial, etc., etc. They are not well indexed, like good index tools. I said Scopus, Web of Science, ABDC, DOAJ. These are good indexing engines or indexing websites, but their journals, these predatory journals, are not well indexed also. These are again some more ways to find out, like there is a Beall's list. This Beall's list gives you the list of predatory journal. Actually, this is Jeffrey Beall's, I think he is the librarian who has created this list. Dolo's list is also there, who also mentions the list of the predatory journal. So you can put the name of the predatory journal. These are, if your journal name, whatever you have put over there, is found in the list, it doesn't mean that it is predatory journal itself. These are potentially predatory journals. So you have to just look for further information, confirm from you. There are more journal, there are journal finders. Okay, Elsevier journal finder, ELNOS. So how you are going to find a suitable journal? Okay, many of them are there, as I written here: Elsevier, EndNote Match, Journal Author Name Estimator, Publish and Flourish Open Access, Pringer, ThinkCheck, Submit, Web of Science Master List, Scopus, UGC Care List. So on these websites, if you go, you can find a suitable journal for your article. Okay, even they ask you to submit the manuscript, and then according to your manuscript, the suitable journal list is given. So that is also best way to find the journal. Let us look for this. I think it has taken you to the Shimago Journal and Country Rank Shimago page. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now here there are many filters. Which subject you want your articles to be? Let it be of this category. Okay. Arts and humanities. So there are many, long list. How many? So 4,532 journals here you have. Okay. Then the other filters are there. All subject category, no. In arts and humanities, again, you may have some work related to the philosophy. Okay. So I have shortlisted to 600, 557. You can have a region also. You can select something regional. I might like to go, which is published in India. Okay, so still it has shortlisted only up to 3 journals. It's easy for me. Okay, so that is how you can select the journal, and then you can click on this journal. Okay, you get the subject area, Journal of Human Values. You can look at the home page. So sorry, it has not taken me to the journal website, but journal web page. This is publisher's web page. It's ISSN. all the information, how to publish in this journal. Yes, you click over here and then you will get the website. This is the Sage Publishing Journal, and many of the Sage Publishing journals are not predatory, they are good. And then here you get all the information. You can look for the editorial board, who is there in the editorial board. So all these names are there. You can check back whether these people are there in those institution, or these are fake names or what. So that all you need to check to see whether your journal is predatory or not. You can look for the aim and the scope and see whether your work lies in the scope of your work lies in this category or in this journal or not, and so on and so forth. Okay. And the other thing you can look for is the UGC care list. Okay. So that is again best option to select your journal. Wait, huh? It should take me directly to the website. It's not taking. Better. And now it will take me. Yeah. Okay. So if you do not know, just a small demonstration of it, you have to first log in into. So, but generally here is a login. I have already logged in. My institutional email ID and my password is there. I'm not robot, and login. And here in this UGC care list, you find the two types of journals are there. UGC care list 1, two types of lists are there. Care list 1 and care list 2 group. Okay. So group you can go on any group. So click anywhere. So this is the UGC care list group 1. Actually, these are the journals which are recommended by many of the people to be included in the UGC care list. Okay. And group 2 list is of actually it comes under Web of Science and Scopus listed. These are Web of Science and Scopus listed journals. So these are again index what I can say, indexing websites who keep the track of many publications. Okay. So here UGC care list 1, I'll go search. Okay. And again, there are many filters based on what you want to search. Okay, whether you want to go for multidisciplinary arts and science, Indian languages, social sciences. So here you all are from such a background where you can go for social science, arts, humanities, multidisciplinary, and Indian languages. So if you do not know the name of the journal, you can go this way. And many journals are listed here. Again, you can look for a particular journal, or you can view the journal. Now I have clicked something, so it takes you to the page which provides all information along with the website of the journal. Okay, and then you get all information of it. This is the good journal. Okay, saying that this is the good journal. Going back, actually this bar, I don't know, I'm not much familiar with the view Zoom interface, so facing a little problem. Okay, fine. So that is how it takes you to the journal and you get the whole information. Also, UGC care list, I'm going back. On this website of the UGC, there is a list of the predatory journals also. Okay. Yeah. So again, you look into whether the journal is predatory or what. And this list gets updated every after 6 months. Okay. I was just looking for a list of the predatory journals and they give the list. Delisted journals from group 2. Okay. So here you will get all the delisted journals. They are not, they are either predatory or they are discontinued. Okay. So take care of that also, whether those journals are discontinued. No, this is delisted. Yes, discontinued or continued or whatever it is. The journals which are discontinued from the above database will not find the place in a UGC 2 of the UGC care list. Okay. So such notes you have to take or you have to search by all possible means when you are searching for the suitable journal. So that's it. So publishing guide, I kept it short because one more point I want to cover. So my thanks and thanks. So you will look for ISSN, you will look for impact factor and so forth. Okay. The last part I go to. Yes, it was writing research proposal. I hope I will try to finish it in time because much of the writing process we have already okay. Could you see my screen this way earlier?
Yes, madam.
Okay. My fourth. Now, research proposal. You are proposing something. You are proposing the statement of intent. To whom? To the authority who is giving you permission, who is going to give you permission to conduct the research work. So for them, you need to write a research proposal. You must have written your research proposals to the RRC, to the university to get permission for your research work. You must have written the research proposals for Avishkar. You must have written the research proposals for funding agency, where you have to submit the statement of intent stating the plan of a research so that you convince the examiner or guide or funding agency or academic authority, whoever is going to give you the permission for. Okay. What are essential ingredients of it? First is the issue. What problem does your research is going to address? Second one is your research design. How are you going to accomplish it to achieve your objectives? And what will be the contribution to the society? What will be the benefit of your research work? Of course, you are not going to structure it in these three, under these three headings, but of course, these are the essential components, ingredients of your research proposal. The one who is going to assess your research proposal is looking for the issue, your research design, and the benefit. Okay, it is like you are the seller and the authority is the customer. So if you are going to buy something, you will first look whether it is suitable to buy. Okay, well, first of all, you will first decide whether you need to buy it. Then you will look for its review, how it is made, whether it is suitable, it is not. And then you also will think whether it has some benefits or not. Similarly, the reviewer of your proposal is also going to assess all these things. When you write the research proposals, it helps you to outline steps. Of course, your plan is ready on the paper at that time. When you write a proposal, your blueprint is ready. It is actually the blueprint. So your blueprint is ready. It helps you to outline steps. What are you going to do? Understand the importance of your research work in the present context. Sometimes you want to do a research, but you yourself are not knowing how important this work is. But when you put up it on a paper, you get a clear idea about how important it is. You thereby you can justify the need of your research, and you need to justify the need of research to the reviewer, okay, to the authority. It helps you to be creative. Okay, so because you have to convince the funder, you have to convince the examiner, and so you write it in a very creative way. So it helps you to be creative. It helps you to decide your milestones to be achieved in the course of the time. It helps you to complete your work in the deadline. Because when you write the research plan on a paper, proposal when you write, so proposal has to have a plan. So when you have a plan, there is a deadline. Okay, so it's that way. So this paper, writing your proposal answers you what you plan to accomplish, what you want to do, and how you're going to do. Okay. See, now it's very nice chart. Of course, I shouldn't forget to write the credits, but credits must be down below. It's not made by me, but I found it very useful and I have pasted it. So what are the questions to be asked, and where and how you're going to answer them while writing the research proposal? So of course, the first question is, what is the problem? Why should it be studied? So for this, selection and statement of the problem is your first step. Okay, where you will be identifying the problem, you will prioritize the problem and try to justify the need of the problem. Okay, this is like finding the research problem. Okay, the first step is of course finding the research problem. Second question comes, what information is already available for which you do the literature review, for which you go for different sources. What step you are going to take? So you are going to look for the sources. You go for reviewing. Why do you conduct a research? Okay, why do conduct research, and why? What is the achievement of the research? For that, you have to frame the aims and objectives, and that you will be framing. How to carry research, or how you are going to collect the data. So there is a research methodology for which you will consider the variables, you will consider about the different methods of data collection, sampling size, data analysis tool, data processing tools, data interpretation process, all those steps you will be taking for that, which will be mentioning in that proposal. Who will collect the data and when? Of course, it is you to collect, but it is not always you. It may be the some manpower you require. So then your work plan comes into action, and then to the personnel, like the people to whom you are appointing. It could be research fellow, It could be you might need to establish a small unit for which you will need to appoint some supervisor or something. So those personnel, manpower, timetable, all those things you will be sorting out at this stage. How will be it monitored, or how research findings will be used? So research administration plan you will be prepared. So what will be the administration, monitoring, identification of potential users, your administrative setup, and all those kind of things come here. Okay. What resources are needed and how are you going to fulfill the resources? That question comes then, where you are looking for the budget and the funding organization, where it includes 3 M's, that is man, material, and money. So all those things you will be looking for. Ultimately, the budgeting will be done. Okay, how are you going to raise funds and all those things? Questions will be answered here. Whom you will submit, who will submit, how to submit, where to submit. Okay, so for that you will prepare the proposal, present the proposal to appropriate authority. ढूंढो अभी आपका research plan तो दिमाग में तैयार है, तो look for the appropriate funding agency. Okay, here again the presentation techniques and all you will need need to make a proposal, you will need to collaborate with the other researchers, etc., etc. Generally, these are the things which are involved in your format. The 2 tables I have given, title, outline, literature review, methodology, ethical issues, timeline, resources, outcomes, budgets, reference list, could be asked in that format. With little variation of the other kind, like title, background, problem statement, aims, objective, rationale, context, methodology, plan of work, resources, outcomes, budget, and reference list. Many of the things we have already discussed, so I don't speak onto it. The literature review. So when you are doing literature review, keep some of the things in your mind, like 5 C's: cite, compare, contrast, critique, and connect. See, for being a researcher, critique is very, very important characteristic of a researcher. Critique is very important characteristic of a researcher. Okay, critique is not criticizing negative way. It shouldn't be taken negative way. Always take it in a positive way, and that is important while writing your research paper. Okay. Aims and objectives, little bit I speak about, which we have already spoken, which is aim is the broad statement and objectives are the small steps. So here I have an example, like there is one title I have framed: geriatric and associated problems, need and solution. Okay, so for which I had to write goals. So how will I write the goal? Might be, okay, I have not yet decided complete plan, but just tentatively I have written to understand the problems of elderly people from different classes of Indian society. Now I'm making broad statements. Title is my geriatric and associated problems, need and solution, for which I have framed some broad goals, which could be 1 or 2. So I have framed 2 goals: to understand the problems of elderly people from different classes of Indian society, and to suggest the reliable solution for most of the common problems. And I have framed the objectives. Of course, I have used 2 different ways of framing the objectives. In one of the way of framing the objectives, to identify, to categorize, to understand, like that term. So these are my milestones. Okay, and in other way you can say preparing, tasting, taste the feasibility, like that also it can be framed. Okay, so here my aims and objectives are framed. A rational context, so this all come from your this thing, what I say, literature review. Methodology, you mentioned, we have already spoken about it in other way, in same way. But now here in plan, here you are giving plan. In plan, when you write the research methodology, it has to go in a future tense. Okay, earlier what we have seen, the tense used is either the for methodology, it was past tense. In your research article, it will be in a future tense. Will be taken, will be done. Simple future. You use simple future tense. Okay. Plan of work. You can give plan of work month-wise. Okay. So according to your milestones, like collection of the it could be the identifying a suitable areas. Okay. So that could be in first three months. Establishment of the unit could take 3 months. Collection of the data, like that, month wise you plan. You can give, it could be year wise also. It is not necessary that all your plan is month wise. It could be proposal research to be conducted for 2-3 years. So accordingly your plan will come. Then comes the budget. Okay, so for what all you will need the budget? You will need the budget for manpower, JRF, travel, some engineering fabrication work you might need to do. You may need to have some setup. You may need to have some now a geriatric population problem, geriatric problems as I have given. So I might have to fabricate, engineer some chairs or some appliances for them, where I'll need some technical need, technical help, some stationery also I'll need, etc., etc. So all that you have to consider while budgeting. Okay, the actual cost present, how much money do you need to complete the entire study? Okay, you have to give the actual cost, stating how much money you need to complete the entire study. Justification has to be given to discuss why such budget item is necessary. Okay, and give the sources how which will explain. I don't know whether I'm still sharing my screen.
Yes, yes, madam.
Because it told me that I need to refresh it. I don't know why. Okay. And sources will explain me how the amount was calculated. Why I am asking so much of money. Okay. While preparing the budget, think about material that you will need. As I said, software solutions and all. Also think of the time, how much time you will need to cover the to do your research study. Do you need to take official leave for your regular work? That also you think of. Travel costs you never neglect, because at the end you come to know that you are spending a lot of money on travel and you have not considered of it earlier. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So then once everything is done, think whether you are all done. Back up your proposal every day. At the end of the day, you come to know that, oh, shit, whatever you have done recently is lost. So every day back up your work. Always print on paper and edit. Do the edits on paper. Final edits do on paper. Of course, nowadays we are well versed with the online tools. But there are some disadvantages also, as I said, pros and cons. Sometimes what was done in the previous review that you forget. So do it on a paper, Of course, save paper. So logically, again, you solve the tie in between. While preparing the proposal, use standard font, number your pages, number your slides, and read out your proposal, your article aloud. Okay, it helps you to understand your own mistakes. Okay, so going ahead now, I don't know what I have missed. Okay, fine. Some common mistakes while preparing your proposal are being too wordy. I don't think that now I need to speak about it. Failing to cite the relevant resources, relevant sources. This is about your literature. Focusing too much on minor issues. Your major issue, major research problem is set aside, and many a times your focus get diverted. So that also you have to take care. Making too many arguments for your research, of course, limit yourself. Do not make very big promises. Keep achievable promises. Do not make big claims. Okay, this my statement was actually making strong arguments for your research. So strong argument means here strongly justifying the need of your research. You might fail to do that, which may may prevent your proposal getting selected. But as I said, the other thing is also there. Achievable goals, very, very important that your goals must be achievable. Poor grammar, careless writing is again one more thing. From where the person judges you that if you are not very clear in stating your problem right now, how you are going to report your complete work. Okay, so there the question mark comes, and then you may be pushed back. Expected, my poor typo error. Okay, it is again not expected, my typo error. The aim objectives are achievable in the given period, that is expectable. Rationale for the proposed study is reasonable, and the scientific design, your research methodology, is again very, very important. It has to be adequately justified. Your research methodology must be adequately justified. Okay, so these are the three things which are very much expected. So that's it. Have a good luck, and have a good luck. Hope your proposal gets selected, and that's it. I haven't given any pause to ask any question, and so now I open myself to take the questions. So you can ask your questions now. Hope I have not bored you. So please ask your questions. Hope you all are there.
Yes, madam.
Because since all are mute and I can't see you, I feel that it's me alone talking.
No, ma'am, we are all actually absorbing and understanding everything that you have just shared. So nicely, ma'am. Just give them a minute if they are
Yes.
framing any questions.
Yeah, sure.
Sheila ma'am, I think you wanted to ask something. You unmuted yourself. Sheila Rajput ma'am.
No, sir. I was just saying that we all are here. We are listening, madam, very carefully because the session is very interesting. And this
Thank
was
you.
really the technical session, which will help us in preparing the proposals as well as how to go for the predatory journals and how to go for the peer-reviewed journals. All that thing, madam has taken.
Thank you, Sheila.
So
Thank you,
we
Dr.
have got
Rekha.
very less time. We are expecting.
Yeah, actually, I rushed a bit at the end. because each of this is taking a lot of time. It will take a lot of time to clearly explain, like visiting the different website and finding information. It is a kind of exercise itself. So you practice and you will get it.
Madam, if you drop the your contact number and email ID, madam, it will be
Sure.
helpful for us, madam.
Sure, sure, I will. Huh?
If you share the first slide, madam, you get everything.
No, I have given in the
Everything.
chat itself so that you can copy paste.
Okay, fine.
Adil, don't have any question today.
No, sir.
Means it is understood that you all everything grab which madam said.
That is satisfying ourselves, thinking that all must have understood everything.
Okay, then I request Dr. Lata Krishnan madam to formally give vote of thanks.
So as So, as all good things must be today. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Yes? Okay, yes. I do want to propose the formal vote of thanks, but after this excellent session, I just remember one incident in my life where I had a very strict maths professor called Dr. Naik. Okay, he would teach us mathematics, the ICSE maths, the higher
Oh.
level. So he would come to me and he would put a chalk on my head and he would push it into my forehead saying, "Do you know what you do not know?" Okay, so this is what Meenakshi Gurav ma'am has taught us, because very often all of us researchers blindly plunge into writing research theses without even knowing, okay, what we do not know. So important things like tenses, okay, important, very, very important concept of dissemination, methods of dissemination, key points of writing, okay, preparation for dissemination, components of research articles, data analysis and presentation. And, you know, she has it all in her head and she knows exactly where researchers do not know what to ask, when to ask, whom to ask, how to ask, and they make all mistakes. And through the convention, she has become such a good advisor that very freely she is telling us exactly, you know, how we have to go about this connect. On. And she has done
Wait, her this thing is not.
Yeah, there is some problem with network. There's a lot of lag.
Hmm. 1 minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
So this is another thing we have to learn, that whatever hurdles come our way, we should never give up. And we have seen the patience that ma'am has shown in hand holding us and taking us throughout this entire process. So on behalf of the management, principal, teachers of Mahatma Naitigiri College of Arts and Commerce, Chembur, Mumbai, and all the participants who have enrolled for this ICSSR sponsored 10-day research methodology workshop, I sincerely thank you, Dr. Meenakshi Gurav ma'am, for sharing your very, very precious time with us and so honestly and freely guiding us and telling us the do's and don'ts and helping us become successful on our research journey. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. I hand over the mic to our co-director of the workshop, Dr. Assistant Professor Tushar Pawar, sir.
Thank you, Lata madam. And I really thankful to Dr. Meenakshi madam on the telephonic conversation itself. She accepted my invitation and she shared her thoughts today. And definitely, madam, your expertise will help us in our further research. Thank you so
Of
much.
course. I wish that it helps you all. All the best to everyone.
Okay. All the participants, please check our WhatsApp group that we will be sharing feedback link. After that, we will sending you another link where you have to mention about your course details. Sorry, certificate details. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.